Hi, everyone. I'm Mitch Juricich, and welcome to Hooked on the Niners.
And I'm Terrell Jones. We'll talk about the Tennessee game.
And I'm Jerry Walker, and we're going to look ahead to London and the Niners playing over there.
And as you can probably see on our table here, if you can't, we'll show it to you later. We've got some show and tell for our third segment. We'll go around the league, and as they said, we'll talk about chip, hip, 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 perio, cheerio, and all that sort of rot, whatever it is, right here on Hooked on the Niners. He's got it.
Hooked on the Niners is supported by the Canyon Inn, 650-369-1646, and on the web at www.canyoninn.com. Bach Construction, 650-344-4844, or on the web at www.bachconstruction.com. Lawson's Wildlife Adventures, 650-504-3400. On the web at www.lawsonwildlifeadventures.com. Tisa's Pepper Jelly, 650-787-2357. And on the web at tisaspepperjelly.com.
Hi, I'm Katie Roletto, and I'm a local professional media producer. Thanks to Penn TV's volunteer program, I was able to expand upon my experience and gain some amazing training in the areas of television production right here in the Bay Area. The staff at Penn TV is very skilled and experienced in all aspects of technical production and really helped me learn and grow. If you're interested in finding out more about Penn TV's volunteer program, please visit them at www.penntv.tv and click on the volunteer tab. Thanks, Penn TV.
Welcome back to Hooked on the Niners. All right, we're going to get right to it, the game in Tennessee, but just did want to remind you that if you ever want to get in touch with us, you can go to, or just email us at lovetheniners@aol.com, lovetheniners@aol.com. And I loved the Niners this Sunday in particular because, Dub, I'll throw this to you first. They kind of looked more at this time like the team last year.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it is not because of the read option. But I thought that defense was really swarming and hitting like they have in the past.
Exactly. It was like a mirror image of a year ago.
Yeah.
And they're starting to click on all cylinders in many facets of the game. The return game is still maybe a little bit of a question mark for special teams. But other than that, yeah, the offense, the defense, especially the defense, but the run option too played a big part in that game.
It sure did. And you know, he mentioned the return game. I think the return game is fine. Other than the guy returning the ball. I mean, you know, Kyle Williams, lots of fair catches, right. Some, you know, maybe not such good judgment. But you have to wonder, you know, a guy like LaMichael James is not even making the field.
Well, and he was inactive too, wasn't this past game?
Right, he was in street clothes. I saw him on the sidelines.
So I wonder if he's got some lingering injury or what's going on. But
I don't know. There could be some lingering injury because he did have that issue for a while. But from what I understand is they want to do 3 running backs.
Okay.
And you know, there's not room because you got some 3 good running backs right there.
So there was a rumor that he sent out a what do you call those things?
Tweet.
A tweet that probably was something that he shouldn't have sent out, but saying that he wasn't getting enough playing time or whatever like that. So there's probably no.
I don't know that, but it's possible.
Yeah, it's possible. I don't know why these guys, as Herm Edwards said, don't hit send. I don't know why people do this. So we got off topic there. But again, getting back to the defense. Kind of amazing the number of people that I was watching get on the field there. That some of them weren't even second string when the season started. They were third string. So, I mean, the depth of this team is just unbelievable.
Well, and I agree. You have to give credit to their front office. Because again we've had a lot of injuries. And people have stepped in and filled in nicely.
Sure.
I mean, when you can stop. Chris Johnson.
Yeah.
And he only rushed for 79 yards. I mean, they give a total of 70 rushing yards.
Right.
And I guarantee you, the defense at the end was patting each other on the back.
Yeah.
Because Tennessee's a pretty good rushing team.
Yeah.
And to me, the only The only weak spot was they gave up 300 yards passing to Locker, but it was more in desperation. But other than this, I think this was like their most complete game of the season so far.
It seemed like it.
And the best part about that, some of those new names, is you're getting them experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that experience is going to pay off down the road so well, so valuable.
And the other side of that too is I'm with you 100% there. You don't have to have Glenn Dorsey in there with that iffy little hamstring all the time.
I don't think that's little, but
yeah, right. Did I say little hamstring? Whoa, what the heck was I thinking?
How many slices of bacon is that right there?
well, we won't get into that, but no, it gives you a chance to rest those sort of guys.
Exactly.
And the one that kind of got me, though, was Eric Reed. A couple of times in the fourth quarter, made hits and was holding his hand, and I'm thinking, get him out of there, get him out of there.
I think he hit his hand on a helmet at one point.
Yeah.
And then he got a shin or something.
Right.
Every time he went down, I was like, oh no, man, this kid.
Yeah, let's talk about him a little bit. My son and I were watching the game, and I know Jerry was the former SID down at LSU, and LSU football is very near and dear to his heart. And we're still going to hit you up for tickets down there one of these days. But anyhow, the number of guys from LSU that are in the NFL is just extraordinary. I mean, there's a ton of guys. They're one of those schools that relates very well to the NFL. For whatever reason, obviously it's the coaching that they have at LSU. But Eric Reed is a guy that just stepped right in, just like Thomas did up in Seattle, and has made a tremendous impact, in my opinion.
And he could have returned. He could be playing at LSU this year.
Yeah.
There's like 4 stars in the NFL that could still be on the LSU roster this year.
Wow.
Well, plus he came out of there with a 4.0.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for him to come into a complex defense like this, they said it was very easy for him to adapt.
Yeah,
So.
and I love the story that Jim Harbaugh recruited him, and he stayed in LSU, and this time when he drafted him, he said he didn't have any choices.
Yeah.
He had to come here.
And the good thing, I mean, he's a heck of an athlete on the field.
Right.
Yeah.
But one of the really good things is the other defensive backs are following suit with his study habits.
Right.
And that pays off.
And they're getting great play back there. Spillman, had a good game. Now
Brock had a good game.
I was just going to say,
Yeah.
Brock that's a couple of good games in a row for Brock.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see the secondary playing well back there, and they've got a good core. Now, having said that, it was Tennessee, but that was a fairly formidable game, and I would throw this out, a very big game from the standpoint that I don't want to be on an airliner going to London for 8 hours mulling this game over.
Exactly.
Well,
exactly.
And I think Tennessee is a very underrated team.
Yeah.
Their defense is pretty good. If they can stay healthy, I think their offense is not bad. But the Niners just went in there, and I won't say they annihilated them, but they just took control of the game right away.
Sure.
Justin Smith played a heck of a game.
He sure
When's
did.
the last time he's had 2 sacks?
Yeah,
You
and
know?
I love the way he sacks.
Oh, man.
What a
Yeah.
good
Wrap him up.
Oh, yeah.
Just absolutely wrap him up.
And Navarro Bowman again.
Yeah.
Wow.
Another sack, yeah.
What a season he's having.
Patrick Willis closing very fast on guys.
Yes.
Closed on their running back, whose name I just
Chris Johnson.
Chris Johnson. One time that I thought, oh no, Patrick Willis was there. They close very fast defensively.
Right.
Very, very quickly on defense. Let's talk a little bit about Frank Gore. Stats. Not the greatest, but 2 touchdowns.
That's a pretty good running defense too.
And they were stacked. It was pretty obvious they were going to stop him. While they may have, he kept going forward, positive yards.
He keeps going forward.
Yeah.
And he had the 2 touchdowns, which were great, but his receiving, he had a great
Exactly.
receiving game Sunday.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Swing pass.
Right.
Out of the backfield. How many weeks in a row have we been saying, why aren't they doing that, and the curls over the middle? And I think that thing went for like 18, 20 yards, something like that.
20 yards.
21 maybe even.
Yeah.
21 yards. So that's a huge gain, and I'd love to see them do that more. That's a great play for them. Offensive line played very, very well. They were obviously, I think, stacked, and so now you've got this pistol thing that comes back to the forefront. And I'll just go out on a limb and say this. I don't think there's a running back in the NFL that could have made that run for a touchdown that Colin Kaepernick made.
That was pretty nice.
That was
yeah.
better than all the running backs. Maybe an AP or somebody like that makes that run, but
But
that was
not too many.
No.
I like the way television put the stopwatch on it and showed how quickly he got there.
Yeah.
That was a great play.
He's so you can't tell how fast he is.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like he's just moving. No, he's not just moving. He's moving past some people.
Yeah. But I'm glad that they put that back in, because I don't think that some of these teams were really preparing themselves for it. They said, they took it out of the game plan.
Right.
All of a sudden, Harbaugh says, okay, now time to put it back in.
See, I was going to ask you that because you're the big film guy. That is something now for people to see, exactly like you said. Maybe we had gotten away from it. Maybe we will try to stop Frank Gore. Now it's like, okay, put the brakes on that. We've got to watch out for this play too. So it makes them more diverse, more and more diverse.
That's why you spend so much time in the movies.
Exactly.
Big film guy.
Somebody's got to do it.
He's a film guy. All right, we have to talk about, obviously, the best play of the game.
Special teams?
No. It's Alex Boone headbutting.
On the sidelines?
Headbutting.
And Cap's eyes go directly to Alex's forehead like, did you just do that?
Yeah. You know, here's a little open note to Alex Boone. The NFL has this thing about concussions that we're trying to corral.
I wonder if he'll get fined for that.
You know what?
Merton Hanks might fine him.
You know, like $20 or something like that. But it didn't look like it affected Alex at all.
No.
I mean, he just...
Alex felt it. That's why Alex is... not Alex. Cap felt it.
Yeah.
That's why he was like, what? Did you just do that?
Yeah,
no,
right, absolutely.
Yeah, Alex didn't.
And then the other thing, too, is Jim Harbaugh going crazy on the sidelines. I mean, I worry about this guy. I mean, you can see the spittle come out.
I love it.
Yeah, he's got some fire about him. But and then the fight.
Oh, yeah.
And his press conference when somebody said, did you get you were right in the middle of that. And he goes, was I?
Yeah.
I was in the middle of it. Yeah, you were.
But wait a minute. Then common sense kicked in and it's like, wait a minute. I'm in the middle of these big guys. I got to get out of here right now.
Somebody said, did you get your arm stuck? And he goes, no, didn't get it stuck, but they were two big guys. It was kind of in between there. Well, that's getting your arm stuck.
Right.
Yeah,
Those fights you want to just get his back as far as you can.
Run as far as you can.
But you know the reason why he did that is so nobody else would come off the sideline. Because then you're penalized.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay.
You know.
Yeah.
There was forethought.
But you know,
it was forethought.
That's what you have a get back coach for. Get in the middle of that.
Exactly.
Keep people back.
Yeah,
Get back coach was trying to save him though.
Right. Trying to save him too. Overall, good win. I kind of thought they got ahead. The second half kind of looked like we're going to play this not to lose.
Right.
You know, but the good thing is, and I think you hit right on the nose, a lot of substitutes got a lot of experience. Maybe that happens again this week in London, and then they get a week off. All right, they're giving us the hook. They're giving us the hook. We got to go. When we come back, we've got some show and tell, and then we're going to go around the league. And as we do go around the league, get your crutches and your Band-Aids.
Jazz hands.
Jazz hands, right. The secret word is right here. It's not jazz hands.
Yes.
We'll be back right here on Hooked on the Niners. And get this over here so you can't see it. That'll sneak a little over sneaking. Yeah, I probably just said yeah it is.
Hooked on the Niners is supported by California Catering, San Mateo, 650-345-4881. On the web at CaliforniaCateringSanMateo.com. California Catering South San Francisco, 650-589-0729. On the web at www.california-catering-company.com. California Catering Emerald Hills, 650-369-4200. On the web at www.cacateringcompany.com. Bay 101 Casino, 408-451-8888. On the web at bay101.com. Check out the Peninsula TV studio with over 2,000 square feet of space in the auditorium of the Samtrans building in San Carlos. One studio, many looks. From a simple talk show to an onstage production, from musical performances to business webcasts, PowerPoint presentations, Skype interviews. With our state-of-the-art control room, we're one mouse click away from going live from our studio to the internet or to Peninsula TV. For more information, call 650-637-1936 or use the Contact Us form at pentv.tv.
Welcome back to Hooked on the Niners. You know, one of the most fun things about doing the show and seeing the guys each week is that everyone kind of sees different things when you're watching the game. We all see a lot of the same stuff, like the Alex Boone thing, but just to show you how different it is, J-Dub and I were together at a function yesterday, and I was mentioning that how sometimes Colin Kaepernick just throws one and you go, don't throw that there. But you've got a different take.
Well, my take is live by the sword, die by the sword. And I love that attitude because if you're afraid to throw, that's going to haunt you later.
Right.
If you got the macho to get in there and try it, it works. That's one of those, like we said, Don't throw it. Oh, yeah. You should have thrown it. That was
Yeah.
a good idea.
Well, and then the other thing, too, is, not to get too esoteric about this, but, if you have any fear at all, no matter what you're doing, like I play golf. If I was going to go on the first tee with Tiger Woods tomorrow, I'm not afraid. I mean, what have I got?
What do you
play,
lose?
right? Exactly. And I think you got to go into this thing. Of course, I'd want 10 strokes aside.
Try 20, but go ahead.
20. I think that's under.
Yeah. Okay, I walked into that. But no, I agree with you. You got to love that devil may care attitude. Now, each week, Jerry is the curator. No, he's the archivist, but I call him the curator for the new museum that's going to go into the new building down in Santa Clara, which is coming along very well. And you've brought some show and tell. I think you have Terrell Jones's first helmet when he played football.
I think the secret word should be part of show and tell from now on.
Okay.
This is a 40s helmet, 30s, 40s helmet.
Wow.
And it's if you look inside, it's really cool. The people at home can't see this, but that's a helmet, baby.
We've talked about the old leather ones that you could fold up and put in your back pocket when you go home.
That's a baby calf.
Yeah.
A baby
So,
calf,
I mean,
sorry.
and it's reasonably heavy. Jim Reisinger, our director, this apparently was his. And it looks like it didn't get
That
much use,
explains a
so that
lot.
really
Wow.
is his. That is amazing. No face mask. Now, we were talking about this before the show. If they went back to helmets like that, we might end the head injury problem. And a lot of those injuries, I think, is your fault. Strength and conditioning coaches around the league are getting these guys too big, too strong, and too fast.
See, I got a different take on that.
Okay.
They are bigger, stronger, faster. I
Yeah.
don't know what's happening in there, but without the strength and conditioning coaches,
That's
there'd be
right.
more injuries.
Exactly.
They get them ready to play, get them physically fit to take that kind of pounding.
Let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
250-pound kids running into each other.
Car wreck.
Really? 150 pounds? 300 pounds coming at you. More chance of injury, I say.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But also, too, like we talked about a few weeks ago, I blame it on this new CBA, because now you have less time to spend with the strength and conditioning coaches.
Yeah.
And you look at it. Look how many hamstring injuries have happened over the
Wow, it's been a lot this
over the
year.
years.
Yeah.
And then now, Cutler goes down with a groin injury.
Right, right.
You got ACLs,
Right.
So that's what I blame. I mean, the players wanted less times with the strength and conditioning coaches and
Right.
less times at the OTAs. Well, they're getting it, and I think they're suffering from this.
He hit on something right there. Dub, excuse me for interrupting you,
right.
but Cutler's out. Cushing is out in Houston. Sam Bradford. I mean, we're talking about big-name guys. Not that I think if a third-string guy gets hurt that's okay.
I think
that's not what I mean.
I think it should be mandatory that all linemen wear braces.
Yeah.
Whether they have knee problems or not, wear
What
braces.
if their teeth are straight, though, and they don't? Oh, knee braces, sorry.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
all right.
But have you looked at it, though? Not that many linemen are getting hurt. I mean, you have a few.
Yeah.
But like you said, there's a lot of big names. Reggie Wayne got hurt.
That's right, doing nothing.
Yeah,
that
towards
was-
ACL. Now they're saying Finley from Green Bay. They don't know if he's going to come back.
Spinal cord bruise.
Yeah.
Ugly.
Timeout. I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's me.
Well, if his son has anything to say about it, too, you know that story.
Right. That's
Yeah,
right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But where I was going with the mandatory that all linemen wear them, and I think all skill position players, it would slow them down, yeah. But I think all skill position players, offense and defense, should wear knee braces.
But it would slow them down, but it would be. It wouldn't be right. Comparatively, wouldn't be exponential. They
Right.
would all have them. So instead of a
Exponential. No?
here,
Fish and chips.
instead of a 4.3, the guy's going to run a 4.5 or a 4.6 with that.
But let me ask you this: when Bob McKittrick was coaching, who I consider the best offensive line coach to ever walk the face of this earth, didn't he make it mandatory for the offensive line to wear knee braces? He strongly suggested it.
Yeah, that's the way it went, and most did, but
Right.
some didn't. But and he's also the coach that taught the low block.
The leg whip,
Yeah.
Not the leg whip,
No.
but the chop block
Chop
or
block,
whatever
right.
they call that.
Okay.
What else do you have for us there,
So-
Dr. Walker?
So this looks like
Walker.
Just
Dr. Walker.
I've seen that Sports Illustrated. We've all seen that cover.
However, this is a one of a kind. This is the Sports Illustrated that was delivered to. You probably can't get a close up, but
Yeah.
delivered to 711 Nevada Street in Redwood City, where the 49ers are training. So this comes the week after the championship game, after
Right.
Dwight's catch. I take it out on the practice field and I show Dwight, and he doesn't believe me. Why are you dogging me like that, J-Dub? I'm not dogging you. What do you got there? That's Sports Illustrated cover this week. No, come on. Who made that up for you? this is a cover. No.
So he didn't believe it.
Didn't believe me, and then I kind of caused a ruckus, and more players showed up to look at it, and finally Coach Walsh said to me, Jerry, can I have my team back so we can practice? We have a big game coming up.
Yeah, so you have a big game.
And so the players all went back on the field, and Bill said, Jerry, let me see that. That's this week's Sports Illustrated?
Yeah.
Wow.
I asked Dwight one time, a couple of years ago, I guess, would he rather have $1 for every one of those things he signed or win the lottery? And I think he'd rather have $1 for every one of those that he signed. That was a sweet picture. What's the other thing you got here? We should mention that Terrell was drooling over this thing when you brought it in.
Well,
awesome.
I should let Terrell show this off.
Yeah.
But this is Mike Holmgren's pre-draft scouting report from, which year is it, 87?
80, yeah, I believe it's 87.
From 87, I think. And
Yeah.
I got to get my glasses here.
Sure. So this is what Mike Holmgren thought of the quarterbacks coming out of college.
Rich Gannon and Testaverde and people like that.
Steve
Yeah.
Erline.
Right.
But he's got one quarterback in here,
Yeah.
What's that guy's name?
Jim Harbaugh from Michigan.
Wow.
And in this book, Mike's grades are anywhere from, I guess, 4 is the lowest, maybe?
Yeah.
No, there was a 3
There
in
was
there.
a 3 in there?
Yeah.
We won't mention who the 3 was. 3 plus.
3 to 10, would it be?
Oh, we should mention who it was.
Oh, Scott Linehan.
Okay. Who's now an offensive coordinator? Go figure that out. Okay. Well, I guess he knows how to draw up plays. He can't implement them.
Unimpressive build.
Unimpressive.
Did not do well.
Is that
on the
my
quickest-
sheet?
No, this is
okay. All right.
Linehan. And too many questions to even consider him in our present situation at quarterback. but Harbaugh gets a 7, one of the highest grades in there. And Coach Holmgren says that would be my choice after Testaverde in this year's draft would have a chance to start within 3 years.
That's pretty much right on.
Right.
Right on.
Yeah.
Now, this is all stuff that you'll be able to see at some point down at the museum.
Yes.
Which is due to open next year. How big is the museum?
The 20,000 the whole Museum Hall of Fame.
Right.
And the experience, in the game experience, is 20,000 square feet.
Right.
And the museum is about maybe a third of that.
Right.
And we need to fill a lot of spots.
And all the stuff that you have brought, will be bringing, will essentially be on display down there. You won't be able to handle these things, but you'll be able to see them, which I think is going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, actually, there are probably people watching this show that just cringed when I handled them without gloves on. Beth Atlas,
Right,
for example.
exactly. Well, this is a good reason for people to get to a game, a 1 o'clock game, get there early. Instead of sitting out and drinking, just go in and take a look at some of this history.
Plus, we're going to be open all year round.
Oh, nice.
Maybe not Christmas, but
Maybe
all year
not
round.
Christmas, okay.
And bringing a lot of school buses in and a lot of
Okay, one
field
quick
trips.
question before we go. They're wrapping us up. Will it be food? Is there a concession stand in there? No, huh?
Crumpets.
Crumpets. Right. Crumpets. No, that's not it. All right, when we come back, we'll preview the game coming up in London and
Talk about crumpets.
maybe some other stuff. We'll talk about crumpets.
007.
Pip, pip, cheerio, and all that sort of
Brilliant.
rot. We'll see you back.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Hooked on the Niners is supported by Parkside Grill, 650-529-9007. On the web at www.parksidegrill.net. Handlery Hotel, 1-800-995-HUSH. The website is www.handlery.com. Poplar Creek Golf Course, 650-522-4653. And on the web at www.poplarcreekgolf.com. Eddie Perez and Company, 650-363-5904. On the web at www.eperezpainting.com. Armstrong Carpet and Linoleum Company, 415-751-2827. On the web at www.armstrongcarpet.com.
Welcome back to Hooked on the Niners.
The Beatles.
No.
Sorry. Jeez. Abbey Road.
Liverpool.
No, it has to do with
Double-decker
football.
buses. Big Ben.
It has to. Big Ben.
that has to do with
Pittsburgh
football?
Steelers won last week.
That was a good
Yeah.
win.
It was a real good win, and they're coming to Oakland this week.
That's right.
Which I should tell you that on a future show next week, I'm going to show you how you can win an all-expenses-paid trip for 3 days, I think it's 4 days, to the Super Bowl in New York coming
Why
up.
didn't you tell us about that?
Well, I don't have the details in front of me, but I just want to tease the audience a little bit.
That's okay.
All right,
Tease.
going to London. You did it once before with the team. Tell me what happened. You ate a lot of bangers and eggs and
couple times
Bangers and
before.
mash?
Bangers and mash.
A couple times. Well, actually,
Shepherd's pie.
Exactly. My favorite breakfast was eggs over easy, nice chunk of ham steak, and baked tomatoes.
Baked tomatoes.
Yeah, because you want to stay away from some of those other breakfasts.
I have an idea that Harbaugh's going to keep his team away from that sort of stuff.
The team is actually staying out of town,
Okay.
which is a good idea. Kind of more bonding available that way.
Right.
But they'll be. It's pretty close to a playoff atmosphere. They say they want to make it a normal week. It's a small scale.
Wait a minute. A playoff atmosphere? Do you see who they're playing?
2 minutes.
Beware of 0-7 teams.
Right.
This is true. This is true.
Yeah.
And there'll be a lot of crazy fans in that.
Yeah.
A lot of hooligans.
Right. How many people does Wembley hold?
70, 75.
Is it that big?
Yeah.
Okay, so
And it's noisy.
I have a friend over there, Jeff Bridson. He and his wife Audrey are big soccer fans. They call that proper football.
Oh, yeah.
But he says more and more people over there are going to these games and loving it. And there's been talk that the NFL might have a team in London, in the next 5 or 6 years. I personally can't see it. I think
That's
if that
tough.
team comes over here to play, games, they're going to have to stay.
Yeah.
They can't, be
Play a
doing
couple of games.
Play
Yeah.
a couple, 3 games.
I can't see the players' union signing off on something like that.
I can't either. All right, let's see what we sign off on for the Niners against the Jacksonville Jaguars. On the surface, sounds like I think the point spread is 16.5. That to me is bet the Niners, but one never knows.
It should be 16.5 or more. But you're right. One never knows. I mean, fluky things can happen.
Right.
They got to be more determined than anybody. And it's like we were talking the other night. The 49ers are the type of team that everybody gets ready for.
Yeah.
Because if you can give them a game, it's a moral victory, which they say doesn't happen in the NFL, but it does.
It does.
And if you can upset them, it'll
Right.
make your season.
Right.
So just quickly, we got about 45 seconds. What do you think?
I say the Niners score more than 30 points again, and win again.
Terrell?
Well, see, what did I pick last week? 31-10, so I was kind of close. I'm going to go 34-7 this time.
34-7. Yeah.
Yes.
So we all think they'll score in excess of 30 and come out of this with a win. Okay. All right. Well, listen. Hey, the secret word.
Bird.
It was lefty.
Lefty?
Well, some of the quarterbacks in the NFL are lefties. Our own Steve Young was a lefty, the best lefty ever.
They have left-handed balls too. No.
Left-handed footballs?
The NFL has left-handed footballs.
Okay.
Yes.
They did.
Stop
Yeah,
it.
the spiral goes
Oh,
differently.
just stop it. We'll see you next week. Be sure to see us or connect with us on lovetheniners@aol.com. We'll see you next week. It's left-handed footballs. Really?
That's one of the best stories. That's one of the best stories ever. Rookie receiver.